At A Current Affair, we meet our fair share of colourful characters, but few can match David Glasheen. He was a multi-millionaire when being a millionaire really meant something. Then he lost the lot and turned his back on modern living to become a real-life Robinson Crusoe.
He's straight out of Central Casting.
It was a story that resonated with everybody around the world.
Big white bushy beard, white hair, shirt was always optional.
He was the original sea changer.
He was the guy. He was, honestly, the real day Robinson Crusoe.
Surrounded by nothing but sea after making the biggest life change imaginable.
Oh, the last 20's been the best time of my life.
Born in Sydney, David Glasheen made a fortune. Then came the 1987 stock market crash known as Black Monday.
You know, I lost a lot. Or not a lot, most of it, nearly all of it. And that was the best thing that ever happened.
What he did have left was the lease on this tiny speck off the coast of Cape York, Restoration Island, 800 kilometres north of Cairns. He became global news in 2009 when A Current Affair reporter, Marguerite Rossi, paid him a visit.
He was pretty forward. I think I even scored a kiss on the cheek.
Nice to meet you, Dave.
Yeah.
Marguerite.
Marguerite. Yum.
David loved the isolation, but felt he needed to share it with someone.
I'm sure there's a line here about there being plenty of fish in the sea.
Yeah. And there are, and there's one out there for me.
Just haven't caught her yet.
No, that's right.
So began the search for his very own Girl Friday.
I'm out there, but but I don't think the mermaids that I'm looking for are out there. Or if they are, they're wider than here.
Yeah.
So I think I've got to cast my net wider. And I think this is a new type of net now. This is well, it is the net.
It is the net.
It is the new net. The new net has gone from fishing net to the internet.
There was some interest, so David flew to Sydney to look for love.
But now Dave Glashin lives in paradise. The only thing missing is someone to share it with. So Australia's own castaway decided to pay a visit to the real world, scrub up and romance some city girls.
I heard you were looking for a wife. Now, I'm from Russia with love, so
great.
Here we go.
It didn't work out, sadly. He never found his Girl Friday. I think the reality of living on Restoration Island, it's so remote.
David's island life might not have been for everyone, but he always clung to the hope that he could share the healing powers of Restoration Island.
It's worked for me. Why can't it work for others?
Right until the end, that was his dream, that he would be able to set up some kind of healing retreat for people who've been through similar experience to himself.
Neil Bramwell helped David write his autobiography, Millionaire Castaway.
For somebody who chose the life of a recluse, he was extremely sociable human being.
He was one of David's many visitors, from local fishers to adventure seekers.
There you go, mate. Dave, nice to meet you, John.
And documentary makers.
Some are havens for wildlife.
Oh, he's really nice.
Others are hiding places for humans.
And Robinson Crusoe can do online banking. That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Even Hollywood stars on their honeymoon couldn't resist the romance of a tropical island getaway.
I introduced him as Russell and Daniel Crowe and all that, and I didn't know what was going on. I thought, I've heard that name somewhere. So after a few minutes, I said, I'm sorry to be rude, but are you a golfer or tennis player or something? I think I've heard your name somewhere. He just laughed.
Dave face planted after going through a couple of bottles of wine with Russell Crowe. Russell went back to his wife on the boat, but Dave woke up several hours later feeling a little bit worse for wear.
These clouds have come across big time now.
Legendary Australian sailor and adventurer Don McIntyre was another to drop by.
Just had a really bad knockdown and filled the cockpit again. The boat was on its side, the mast went underwater.
Captain Bligh spent time recovering on the island during his epic voyage after the mutiny on the Bounty, a voyage Don reenacted in 2010.
So by the time they got here, Bligh refers to some of his men as being in a really bad state, and when they left, he says this stop saved a group of his men. He doesn't say who, but some of them were in a bad way.
And it gave the island that wonderful name, Restoration Island.
Yeah.
And covered by 60 Minutes.
Captain Bligh would recognise.
Oh, sure. Come back 221 years later, and here it is. But I sit at the beach and think of what Bligh was doing, and even the early people before him. And it's been like this for millions of years.
Well, you're its custodian. It's
oh yes, I'm very attached to this land, and I'm part of this land. I will die here.
He didn't quite. A heart attack forced David to the mainland. His passing this week, aged 81, has been reported and his life celebrated around the world.
Has been incredible. You know, there's been stories in Brazilian media, in Vietnamese media, in Polish media.
For a man who chose to live alone for close to 30 years, he leaves behind a lot of friends.
He was just one of those warm, lovable, memorable characters that just really sticks with you. And I'm not surprised in the slightest that there's been this outpouring of love and affection for the millionaire castaway.
He lived life on his terms, didn't he? And David leaves behind a son and daughter who are making plans for a memorial service and, of course, to spread their dad's ashes on Restoration Island.